Hello and welcome to Outsiders Weather and the Skeptics Ice Age Watch, where, goodness gracious, what on earth is this? Yes, the glorious moment the rains return to a bone-dry creek in northern New South Wales after 4 long years of drought, which is what does tend to happen after a drought. Nature can be a harsh mistress, but she can also be magnificent. But hang on.
Even the rain that falls isn't actually going to fill our dams and our rivers.
Thanks, Tim, and try telling that to the rain-soaked residents of the eastern seaboard who have endured the past week or so of torrential rainfall and flooding, with big seas hammering Narrabeen and Womberol on the central coast. Needless to say, the lovies were quick to squeal climate change, with some almost taking perverse delight in the plight of the Womberol residents. One Herald reader wailed about melting ice caps and warming seas, and another claimed her only concern was for not the Womberol residents but Pacific Islanders whose ancestral homes are flooded daily by seawater. But is climate change really the villain here? Well, only if you ignore the fact that virtually identical erosion has occurred many times before in exactly the same spot, and long before global warming was even a twinkle in Svante Thunberg's eye. Meanwhile, not much global warming in the Indian state of Himachal, where they have had unusually early snowfall recently. Indeed, in the remote Baralacha and Shinkula regions, snow has been falling a full month earlier than normal. According to India Today, the Jairam Thakur government may have to alter the cropping pattern in order to capitalise on the early and longer spells of snow. And it looks like Norway cities have recorded their coldest July since the 1990s. Despite it supposedly being in the middle of summer, Trondelag and South Norway alike have had to put up with continued cold, wet weather. Cold weather from the west has resulted in colder temperatures and variable summer weather across large parts of South Norway in Juli, says Met Norway's Ranvig Offerdal Eikil. And his pedantic colleague Gunnar Livik added, in Oslo, we have to go back to 1993, Bergen 1996, and Trondheim all the way back to 1962 to find similarly low average temperatures. Not much global warming there either. However, Spanish and Italian researchers have managed to find evidence of a 2-degree rise in sea temperatures and therefore clear evidence of global warming in the Sicily Channel. The recorded ratios of magnesium to calcite taken from skeletonized amoebas in marine sediments suggest a 2 degrees Celsius rise in temperatures in the Mediterranean 2,000 years ago, back in the Roman period. The warmer period may have coincided with the shift from the Roman Republic to the Empire founded by Octavius Augustus in 27 BC. The Empire coincided with a 500-year period that was the warmest of the last 2,000 years. The climate later progressed towards colder and arid conditions that coincided with the historical collapse of the Roman Empire, scientists claim. And speaking of empires collapsing, last week saw...
This is the Portland Police Bureau. This is a residential area. We noticed criminal activity occurring in this crowd. If you attempt to breach and enter the BPA office, you'll be subject to arrest or use of force.
You'd almost think they were deliberately setting fires to try and raise the temperature this summer. But America was a lot hotter back in summers past. For example, 1934, when, according to climate skeptic Tony Heller, that sweltering summer, the average temperature on July 25th around the United States was 94 degrees, and 1/3 of the country was over 100 degrees. Weather that hot is inconceivable today, no matter how many flames the anarchists stoke. And it wasn't just 1934 that was way hotter than today. Even the climate lovies at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration admit that for July 29, the highest temperature ever recorded for the state of Oregon, coincidentally the epicenter of the current riots, was a blistering 119 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 48.3 degrees Celsius, way, way, way back in 1898, long before global warming could ever have existed. For Minnesota, where the current riots were ignited, it was a scorching 115 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 46.1, way back in 1917. And forget about Mississippi burning this summer. It was way hotter on July 29th, 1930, also at 115 degrees Fahrenheit. And Tennessee hit a record high 113 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 45, also back in 1930. Ah, the good old days in Tennessee, long before global warming, when apparently it was warmer.
Walking home from church on Sunday with the one you love, laughing, talking and making future plans. And when your folks ain't looking, you might steal a kiss or two while you're sitting in the porch swing holding hands. In my Tennessee mountain home, life is as peaceful as